All right, so we're going to start lying on the mat. Our knees are bent, our feet are on the mat, and our feet and legs are separated about sits bone width apart, and then the arms are just long. So we're just going to start with some basic coccyx curls to get a little movement through the spine and find our low abs. So I just want you to tuck your tailbone, roll that tailbone off, and then curl and round down. Good. And then tuck the tailbone and roll up and roll back down. Let's do one more of these small ones and then we'll go into a full bridge. So up and then roll it back down. Good. And then let's come into a full bridge. So I want you to roll up to the tips of the shoulder blades. The ribs are still knit together at the top. And then I want you to try to articulate down, bone by bone. So if you're new to Pilates, articulating down the spine can be difficult. You may feel your back go down in 2 or 3 pieces instead of bone by bone, but that's something that you'll just work on. So let's tuck that tailbone, articulate up. We'll do the best we can to articulate bone by bone. All the way on down. Okay, here, and then good. Okay, now we're going to do some knee drops into the chest. And we're going to practice this because we want to be able to move the leg without the pelvis wobbling kind of side to side like this. That was a little bit of an over exaggeration. Okay. Just so everyone understands what that is. All right. So we're going to just move the right leg for now. So I want you to bring your right knee into your chest. Just drop it in and then put the foot back down on the floor. Good. And when you do that, let's just do that with the right leg again. I don't want to see this left hip move. There we go. Now put it back down. So what you should be feeling is your low abs firing up, the area between your 2 hip bones. Do the right leg again. So drop it in. Good. And lower. And then one more time. Drop that right knee into the chest and lower. Okay, let's do the left side. So I want you to drop that left knee in. Good. And put it back down. Do you feel how your low abs have to fire up even though it's not a big movement? Yeah. Okay. So let's drop that left knee in. Good. And lower. Good. And drop the left knee in. So what I'm looking for here in Michelle is that her pelvis doesn't tilt or rock right to left as she just moves this thigh bone, her femur. Do one more on that left side. And then put that foot down. Good. Okay, so now we're going to work on our upper body curl. So practice that. So what's really important with your upper body curl is that you don't feel a lot of strain in your neck. It's our abs doing the work. Our neck should feel, the goal is that the neck feels free and loose. Okay, so let's practice this with our hands behind the head so we give ourselves a little support when we're first learning how to do our upper body curl. So you're going to keep your feet on the mat, the knees bent in the same position we were in. Head will start down. Good, and I want you to take a big inhale through your nose. And on the exhale, I want you to start to curl the head, the neck, the shoulders. The ribs slide down towards the hips. Good. And then I want you to roll back on down. So what the goal is that we feel our upper abs contract and not feel like you're lifting your head with your neck muscles. The neck should feel good. Okay, let's try that again. I want you to take a big inhale through your nose. On the exhale, feel the ribs slide down, knit together, and curl up. So we're looking down into our belly, but you're not putting your chin on your chest. Good. And then roll back down. Let's try that one last time. Take a big inhale, and then an exhale, curl up. Good. Look into that belly. Nice. And then roll it all the way down. Good. So how'd that feel? Good in the neck? Good. Okay. All right, so the first exercise, the full exercise we're going to go into is the 100. So the 100 for today, when we're learning the 100, we do it with our feet on the mat in the same position. Okay, so we're going to bring our arms up to the ceiling. We're going to do that upper body curl again. So, once you come up, you're going to inhale for a count of 5, and then you're going to exhale for a count of 5. Okay, I want you to take a big inhale at the bottom. On the exhale, curl the head, the neck, the shoulders, look into the belly, and I want you to pump those arms. So I want you to inhale for 5, and I want you to go out. 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. And 30, and out. And 40, and out. And 50, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. So half done. And inhaling 2, 3, 4, 5 and out. 2, 3, 4, 5 and in and out. And 80 and out. And 90, 2, 3, 4, 5 and out. 2, 3, 4, 5 and 100. 2, 3, 4, 5 and out. 2, 3, 4, 5 and rest everything down. Good. Okay, so how'd that feel?
Good.
Okay. So if you're doing the 100 on the first time and you feel you get to about number 50 and your neck is really strained, which that's common. Don't be surprised when you first start Pilates if you feel that. It's okay to put your head down, take a little break, and then come back up. Or let's show everyone how it looks if you were to do the 100 with the head down. So you just keep your head down and we'll pump the arms and so arms up to the ceiling. So Michelle's going to do a couple here with her head down so you can see what that looks like. I want you to take a big inhale. On the exhale, just reach the arms long, but still feel the ribs knit together, the abdominals contract, and just pump the arms, just like you had done. Good. And then I want you to do the big breathing. So inhale for 5 and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Do one more set. Inhaling, scooping those abdominals, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, and rest the arms. Good. So they're both an option. All right, let's go into our roll up. So you're going to sit on up on your bottom. So come on up to a seated position. Good. And your legs are out long. Good. Okay. Arms out in front of you. Okay. So here we go with our articulation of the spine again. So I want you to slide your tailbone under and curl back to the mat, trying to go bone by bone by bone by bone by bone. Nice. And then end with your arms up to the ceiling. Good. Okay, now we're going to curl on up. And I want you to take an inhale, and you're going to start to curl the head, the neck, the shoulders round, and curl forward across those toes. Good. Your spine curls, your spine stretches forward as the abs pull back to my hand here. And then I want you to curl back bone by bone. So think your legs reach long towards the wall, your spine heads towards the mat, all the way down. Good. And let's do one more in this version. So I want you to take a big inhale. On the exhale, curl and go, come up. Good. And now stack the spine up nice and tall. So that's the full version of the roll up. Let's do a version with our knees slightly bent. So go ahead and bend your knees and put your feet on the mat. Yep. Okay. So arms out in front of you. So I want you to curl and round back, bone by bone. Good. Good. Nice. Good. And we're back down on the mat, just like we were if our knees were straight. Okay. And then we're going to curl up. And then what I want you to do is start to walk your hands up the backs of your legs to help you. If you're struggling with the roll up, you're going to come to this version. So I want you to take an inhale and curl and round up. And now hands walk up the backs of the legs. Good. Up, up, up. Good. And then sit up nice and tall. Good. Arms out in front of you. Curl and round back, bone by bone. Good. We're all the way down. Good. And then I want you to curl up to the point and then see if you can walk yourself up all the way on up. Nice. Okay, let's go back and do a few more with our legs straight, the full roll-up version. Okay, so curl and round back. Nice. All the way down. And coming on up. Inhale as you start to come up. Exhale when you feel like you're going to get stuck. And then reach across. Good. And then curl and round back. Good. All the way down. Good. And then curl and round up. Head, neck, shoulders. The belly scoops back as your spine stretches forward. So you get a full stretch in the back line of the body. And then curl all the way on back. All the way down. Nice. There's your roll up. So arms down at the side. Here we're going to go into single leg circles. So let's start with the bent knee version. I want you to bring your right knee into your right leg into tabletop, which means the knee is bent. Go ahead and put your right hand on your knee cap. Yes. Okay, so we're going to stir the leg, and what I want to happen is that the pelvis stays stable. You don't wobble back and forth. So let's do 4 in each direction. So let's go out first and around and back to the top. Good. And out and around and up. It's small right now. So just feel like you're stirring a very small pot of soup in that hip socket. Out and around. Now reverse it. So stir it around and pull it in. And you can pull it in a little closer to you when you come in. There you go. So let's try to anchor that side down. Woo! And good. Now we're going to go into the full version. So press that right arm into the mat. Straighten that right leg to the ceiling. Okay. Do you see how this side shifted? And I don't know if I want you to not feel your pelvis shift. So if you're tight in your hamstrings, this is hard to do. Okay. You're going to lower this leg down. Do you feel how your pelvis is a little more even now? Yeah. So it's okay if your leg's not to the ceiling. We're at the top of those mirrors there, which is fine. Okay, point that foot. Let's do 4 in each direction. So go down, open out, and back to the top. Good. Now let that knit together and pull in. Good. And down and around and up. And down and around and up. And last one in this direction. Good. Now reverse it. Open out. Circle around back to the top. So we're just basically doing circles 4 in each direction. And 3, good. And last one, and good. Now bring that knee into your chest, give it a deep hug. Stretch it out. Good. And then lower that leg all the way down to the mat. Good. Okay, let's bring our left leg into that close tabletop. Good. You're going to now put your left hand on your knee. We're just going to do those tiny little circles to get going here. 4 in each direction. Good. Now, do you feel how on this side you have a little less movement in your pelvis? Yeah. And that's normal. Don't be surprised if side to side you feel very different when you do these exercises. So one side's easy and one side's challenging. Now reverse it. Good. Good. And good. Now let's go into the full version. So let's straighten that leg. Good. Let those ribs sink down. Let's lower this leg a little bit. So the back of that right, yes. Feel the back of that right hamstring on the mat. Good. Point this foot. You're going to come towards me first. Just don't whack me in the head. Okay, good. Down, around, up. Good. Open now. Keep your belly pulled up and in. Yes. 3. One more. And 4. Good. Now you're going to reverse it. So down, open, and around. Good. Down, open, and around. Down, open, and around. Once more. Down, open, and around. Good. Bring your knee into your chest. Give it a nice big hug. Stretch that out. Okay. And you're going to then lengthen both legs out long. Good. Let's sit on up and we're going to go into rolling like a ball. So just bring yourself up to a seated position. Okay. Rolling like a ball. We're going to do the version today when we learn this with our hands behind our knees. So I want you to scoot forward on the mat a little bit so you don't roll off the back of your mat. Good. You're going to have your knees open in a butterfly position. Good. And then your heels together, your toes apart, elbows wide. Okay, I want you to pick your feet up and you're going to balance on your sacrum. Now, scoop your belly. Yes. Open your knees wide. Yeah, let them be as wide as your armpits. Good. Okay, now, I want you to curl back to the tips of your shoulder blades and then come right back to this position you're in. So I want you to inhale and then exhale and come up. Good. So inhale back. Roll out your spine like you're giving yourself a little spinal massage. Good. And then try not to roll onto your neck. So inhale back. Good. Scooping out the belly. Good. Exhale up. So we're going to use that breath. So we're going to inhale back and exhale up. Good. And again, inhale back. Exhale up. And last one. Inhale back. Exhale up and lower the feet down. Beautiful. Let's lie down on our back. We're going to go into the part of the ab series, the single leg stretch and the double leg stretch. Okay, so we're going to be back to doing that upper body curl again, similar to what you did during the 100. So I want you to bring your right knee into your chest. Your outside hand will always be on your ankle. So and inside hand is below the kneecap. Same on the other side. This left leg is going to lift up and long at a high diagonal. Now, I want you to take an inhale. On the exhale, curl that upper body up into that upper ab position, upper body curl. Elbows are wide. Now, don't be afraid to pull that leg into you. Yes. Now I want you to switch your legs and switch and hold. Good. Switch and hold. and switch and hold. Good. Feel your abs scoop in towards the mat. Switch and hold. Switch and hold. Switch and hold. Good. Switch and hold. Good. Let's do 4 quicker. And 1, 2, 3, and 4, and rest the head. Good. Okay. Double leg stretch. So legs in tabletop. Or pull them in a little closer. Let's curl that upper body up again. Good. Hands on your shins. And don't be afraid to pull those legs into you nice and tight, almost like a little ball position lying on your back. I want you to press your legs out to a high diagonal, arms straight up. Good. Let's come right here, right up to the ceiling. Now exhale, pull everything back in, squish the air out of yourself. Inhale, press it out. Feel that belly pull away. Exhale, pull it on in. Good. Inhale, press it away. Scoop. Exhale, pull it in. We never want to feel our back arch off the mat. Inhale, press it away. Good. Exhale and scoop. And last one. Inhale, press it away. Good. Exhale and good. And then rest that head. Okay, let's put our feet on the mat, open the arms out to the side. Let's drop the knees over so we just get a little bit of a stretch after that. Good. And then drop it over towards me. Okay, nice. All right, let's sit back up again. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is the seated spine stretch. So I want you to sit on the mat with the legs out straight in front of you in a straddle. You could scoot back a little bit so your ankles are on. Perfect, just like that. Now, this position's hard to sit in because sitting up tall with our legs out straight in front of us is challenging. So if you feel like you're rolling, maybe roll back a little bit as a demo. Like if you have to roll back to sit tall, I'd rather have you come back up. And if you need to bend your knees a little bit. So you see how I can tell you got taller through that lift through your waist? So it's okay. It's okay to do this. Or some people need to roll up a couple beach towels or a pillow or something to boost your rear up a few inches. Then you might be able to sit with your legs perfectly straight and perched tall on your sits bones. Okay, let's go ahead and have you go back to the straight leg version though. You can open, let's go out to the very edge here. All right, so we're seated tall, perched up as high as we can. Our arms reach out out in front of us. Okay, belly pulled up and in. I want you to imagine you're up against a wall. We're going to peel off the wall. I want you to start to curl the head, the neck, the shoulders. Your spine's going to curl forward as the abs pull back. So here's the stretch part. Now we're going to curl back up. Curl up. Head's the very last bone that comes up. And then relax those shoulders. Yes. And again, inhale, curl and round forward. The spine goes forward, the shoulders still stay connected into the back, the abs pull back into my hand, and now back it out and all the way on up. Good. And again, curl and round forward, head, neck, shoulders, scoop and reach. Good. And then back it out, curl it on up, sit up nice and tall. And last one, curl and round forward. Scoop. Think your spine reaches forward. The spine goes, not the shoulder blades. Good. And then back it out. Come all the way on up. Sit up taller. And now lower the arms down. So usually after we do this, we feel like we got about 1 inch taller after that exercise. Okay. Right from here, let's go into saw. So I'm going to move out of the way because I think we might hit each other if I stay where I'm at. So arms out to the side like a letter T. So again, Michelle's in that same position we said is hard to maintain. Legs out straight. It's a 90-degree angle in the hip. So this exercise, you can sit on the towels again, a pillow. You could bend your knees. So the same theme here. All right. So let's go into our saw. So you're going to twist to the right. Twist to the right. Your left hand reaches to the outside of your pinky foot. Now look to the back hand here. Good. Now untwist yourself, come back into the center. Good. Now twist to the opposite side. Twist and scoop and reach. Good. Now back it out. Come up into the center. Good. And as you twist, try not to lift the opposite bottom cheek. Yes. The pelvis anchors down. The spine reaches out. Good. Come up the side and center. And again, twist and scoop and reach. Anchor that right side. Reach out of the right side. Don't bring it with you. Good. Come up the side and center. And last set, twist and scoop and reach. Come up the side and to the center. And last one, and twist it out and scoop and reach. There we go. Up the side and center. Bring the legs together. Good. Arms out in front of you. Let's do half a roll up to get down to the mat. So here we go. We're going to curl down bone by bone. We've done a few of these now, so it might start to get a little bit easier. All right, now we've done a lot of forward flexion, right? So now we're going to go into some extension work the other direction. So let's flip over and lie on your stomach. So we're going to start with just a basic extension. I want you to have your elbows bent and your palms on top of each other, and they're actually out away from your forehead. Yes, just like that. Actually, go ahead and just have the fingertips together. I lied. I changed my mind. Okay. All right. So if you're someone that has maybe some low back issues, or you know your low back is tight, go ahead and have your legs in a little bit of a straddle. Okay? Might feel better in your low back. And what's really important here with extension work is that we don't feel compression or pinch or pain in our lumbar spine. Extension work is to strengthen the open the thoracic spine, strengthen the spine, but I strengthen the back muscles. I don't want you to feel this compression. Some people feel like it's weight in that lumbar spine. That's really important. So first thing I want you to do is I want you to feel your legs reach long. We're not trying to lift them. They're just finding length. Your belly is pulling up and in from the mat. I'm going to bring your elbows down just a little bit. Okay. You're going to keep those the forearms on the mat. I want you to inhale. Start to push a marble away with the tip of the nose as you roll the head, the neck, the shoulders. Drop your chin just a little bit so the back of the neck is long. We're just getting that initial tiny lift. And then exhale and lower down. Good. So extension is all about finding length. And I want you to inhale and lift. Feel the shoulders draw down a little bit. Good. It's just really the heart, kind of the very top of the chest lifting. Good. Exhale and lower on down. How's that feeling, Michelle? Good. Okay. And one more time. And inhaling and lift. Good. Exhaling and lower. So if that feels good on your back, you're not feeling any of that pain right through here, that lumbar spine, we're going to go into flight. So we'll probably get a little more height this time. So bring your arms down to your side. Good. Now we just have our palms up to the ceiling. And if your back is feeling good, you can try the heels together, toes apart stance. Again, if just lying here in this position doesn't feel good, you know how sometimes that doesn't feel great, then that means it's time to separate. Okay. All right. Now, I want you to find the length through the leg. I want you to reach your arms long. I want your belly to pull up and in. And then I want you to push that marble away with your nose again as you roll the head, the neck, the chest. The palms can lift up just about 1 inch. Let's keep our legs on the mat. Good. And your gaze really is only at the top of the mat there. We're not really looking out to the room. And then exhale and lower on down. Good. And again, inhaling and lift. Shoulders draw down. Arms lift and reach. Good. Exhaling and lower. Good. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhaling, lift. Feel that upper thoracic spine going into extension. Good. Exhale, lower. And last one, inhaling and lift and reach. Good. Drop your chin a little bit so the back of the neck's long. Good. Exhaling and lower. Nice. Let's sit back in a child's pose. So put your hands under your shoulders. Push yourself back so the sits bones come to the heels. So we're stretching our spine in the opposite direction. So that extension work can be challenging if you're new to it, since we spend a lot of our day in a forward flex position with our upper body, be it if you're driving or you work in front of a computer or you use your cell phone or even if you have little kids and maybe you are over them playing or changing diapers, all those things we do sort of put us in this forward flex position, and the extension is asking you to open that up. So it can be a little challenging. Okay, good. Come on up out of that. All right, let's lie on our side, and we're going to go into side lying leg series. Okay, so let's do a few things. First, we're going to lie in a perfectly straight line. Then we're going to go into our more traditional side lying legs with the hinge in the hips. Okay, so let's actually have your right ear on your biceps. You're lying all the way flat. Okay, all right. So you're lying in this perfectly straight line, and what I want to see is that your feet are actually stacked one on top of each other. Oh, yeah. Did you feel how when you did that, you felt this waistline pull up and in? So the side lying legs, yes, you're working your legs. That is true, but there's also some work in this waistline. I want it to be active and lifted. You could bring this hand out a little further from your chest. Nice. Okay, now ribs pulled in. Okay, all we're going to do is lift this top leg to hip height. Good. And now I just want you to lower it down and then lift it back up. And what I'm checking for is to make sure when you lower it back down, your feet are still even. Because the tendency is to shift it so the foot's here. Okay, there. Now you've got your length back through your waist. Okay, good. Let's do that a couple times. So lift up and lower. So Michelle's actually working really hard through her abs without having to do any forward flexion. So she's really reaching that leg long, meaning she's keeping the length here through the waist and not letting this top hip hike up towards her armpit. And what I'm looking for is that her feet stay stacked and that this top foot doesn't start sliding up. Good. It's not a very big move, but it takes some work, huh? Good. And down. Good. Let's do one more of those. So now we're going to go into more of a traditional side lying leg series. And the reason I had Michelle do this first is to get that connection up through the waist. Because it's not about lying on the mat and swinging the leg around. Okay. All right. So let's now set up where we have a hinge in the hip, which means our feet come to the front of our mat. Michelle's spine is still lined up with the back of the mat. Lift this top leg hip height. And ladies, that means the width of the bones of your hip. That does not mean this. What I say self-perception. It is all about the bones. Okay. Now, she's going to keep that length through her waist. She's going to keep her belly pulled up and in. Michelle's going to swing her leg to the front without the hip rolling. And she's going to swing to the back and go into a little extension. And she's going to swing to the front. Good. And she's going to swing to the back. And she's going to swing to the front. And what I'm looking for is that this top hip doesn't start to roll towards the mat. Good. And swing to the front. So that means for a lot of people, your leg, it really isn't going to swing that far forward. And swing to the front. Scoop the belly as you swing forward. Good. And swing to the back. And swing to the front. And swing to the back. Let's swing back to center and close the legs. Good. You're going to externally rotate that top leg. Yep. And leg is straight. Good. Okay. Now it feels like our knees coming a little bit more to the ceiling. So I want you to kick the legs straight up. Good. And now keep that external rotation. Good. And then lower back down. Tap the heel. Good. And kick it up and exhale, lower. So keep the whole thing rotated. Yeah. The whole thing. Yes. And this may be really easy for some of you, and it may be really hard. Okay, so kick up. Now I'm behind her to stop her hip from rolling backwards because this is not Michelle's body's favorite thing to do is go into external rotation. So I'm giving her a little help. So watch when you externally rotate the femur, the thigh bone, that you don't roll backwards. Good, and then belly up and in. And up and lower and lift and lower and lift and lower. Good. Now let's come back to parallel. You're like, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Lift this top leg up, hip height. Good. Now point that foot. Okay. Now without letting the pelvis wiggle all over the place, let's draw 8 circles, like the size of a dinner plate. So you're going to go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Find that length again. Go the other way. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Find your length. Again, reach out, lower the legs on down. Good. Let's roll to the other side. Let's start lying in that straight line. So we'll do the little check to figure out how to get everything engaged here. Okay, so Michelle's lying in a nice straight long line. Let's not get behind ourselves. Good. Our feet are stacked. Good. We're looking for hip to hip is even. That one hip's not, this top hip especially, is not hiked up. She's got her waistline up and engaged. Good. And then I just want you to lift and lower that top leg. And let's make sure every time we lower, we're tapping the sides of our foot together. Yes. And down. Good. And lift and lower. Good. Lift and lower. And lift and lower. Does this side feel a little easier to you? Yeah. So don't be surprised if one side lying leg series is easier than the other. That's not unusual. That looks pretty good. Not a lot of, that one's you didn't have to work as hard on. Yeah. Okay, now let's set up for the traditional side lying legs. So bring your feet, hinge at your hips. Still make sure, check the box here, hip to hip is still stacked, okay, that this top hip's not rolling forward towards the mat. Okay, you're going to pick up that top leg hip height. Yep, bones of the hips. Good. Now swing to the front without that hip rolling forward. Now pull through to the back, feel a little squeeze under that rear end. Good. Swing to the front, scoop the belly. And swing to the back. Good. And swing to the front. So just because we're doing an exercise called side lying legs, go to the back, that doesn't mean our abs aren't involved. Swing to the front and swing to the back. Good. Reach and swing to the front and swing to the back. Squeeze and swing to the front and swing to the back. Let's do one more set. Swing to the front and swing to the back. Good. Back to center and close. Now let's see how this leg likes to externally rotate. Okay, so Michelle's an external rotation means it comes from the hip, not the knee and the ankle. That is not going to feel good if you keep the hip parallel and the knee and the ankle rotate. Okay, so let's kick that leg up. Good, and then lower, reach it long. Go ahead and point your toe on the up. So point the foot on the up and then flex on the down. Oh, lift it up and think that belly up and in. Don't go, yeah. There's a lot going on here. Okay, and lift it up and lower it down. Good. And see if you can keep it externally rotated when you come up. That's hard. And down. And lift it up. Good. And lower it down. And once more. And lift it up. And lower it down. Good. Let's go back to that parallel leg. I want you to lift that leg hip height. Good. Keep finding that length through the waist. Good. Belly up and in. Now point that foot. Good. Now we're going to do the 8 circles in the dinner plate size. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now on this, when you go the other way, I don't want to see so much movement in the pelvis. Try to reach out like you're circling the opposite wall across the room. Yeah, there we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lower the leg on down. Good. How about you roll onto your back? Let's do a quick little hip stretch after that. So lie on your back. You're going to keep your left knee bent and you're going to take the right leg and cross it over what I call a number 4 stretch because it kind of looks like a number 4. And then if that's not enough of a stretch, Michelle's getting a stretch in the back of her right hip, her glute. Pull this knee into you, the left knee, and stretch out that hip. Good, and then switch the sides. Good, start with the foot down, and then especially if you're maybe someone that's really mobile or flexible, you may need to pull the whole thing into you. Everyone's different here. This is a great stretch too if you've been sitting all day or maybe driving all day. Sort of stretches out that area that gets nice and tight. Good. Okay, let's go ahead. We're going to finish our last exercise with our beginner mat. It's going to be seal. So we're going to sit on up And we did rolling like a ball earlier where we rolled on our spine. This is the same movement. We just have our arms and legs in a different place. Okay, so always make sure when you do this rolling work, especially if maybe you're working in a small area, that you leave enough space behind you that you don't hit something or roll off onto something that's going to hurt. Okay, so I want you to take your legs into a butterfly position. Good. And now you're going to dive your hands through and grab the tops of your ankles from the outside. Yes. This is a little strange. All right. So I want you to pick up your feet and balance on your sacrum. Okay. Now, if you don't know where your sacrum is, maybe we should have explained this earlier. It's a triangular flat piece of bone above your tailbone. So it's okay. It's pretty comfy to balance on. It shouldn't hurt. Okay, now we're going to roll like a ball again. So I want you to roll back to the tips of the shoulder blades on the inhale. So inhale back. Good. And then I want you to exhale, roll back up to that sacrum. Yes. And let's do that again. I want you to inhale back, try to roll right down the center of the spine. That's the challenge, because a lot of times we like to kind of go off to the right or the left. Do that again. And roll back and roll up. Nice. So the work is coming up, but controlled. You can feel that. Yes. All right. So roll back. Good. And roll up. Okay. Now we're going to add sort of the silly part. So we're going to roll back and we're going to suspend and click our heels 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then roll up. And see, if you notice, Michelle didn't put her head down. That's good. I want you to be on like the shoulder girdle when you roll back. So roll back. And maybe right now when you're learning this, you've got time to click 1 heel. That's fine. The goal is you can work your way up to 3 clicks. And roll it back. Nice. Click, click, click. Or you can do the barking seal sound as you go.
All right, one more time.
Well, I'll add the barking seal in for you. Okay. And and then up, and then rest the feet down. All right. And then you finished your beginner mat class. All right. Great job. How you feel?
Good.
Okay. Wonderful.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.